Good evening. Welcome. Greeting you in your time zone. Welcome to Politics, Leadership and Politics. I'll be joined with Dr. Lawrence Mwelwa. Welcome, Chiten Share, invite people. I'm just gonna play a latest song by KKD as we wait. Chiten Share, let people know we are here. Good evening. How are you, Sister Judy? Good to see you. Thank you. Felix Mulenga Mulishani, Chiten Share. We are here today, second episode of Politics and Leadership. We are joined with Dr. Lawrence Mwelwa and Comrade Fabian Mutale. So share. Let me just play the song as we wait. Thank you.
With the voice of Sam, Mama ikateni muchekeche, Sikuru ikateni kita, Mweleke tubata chekole kwa,
All right, that is the latest song by KKD, Voice of Zambia, Mwawombeni. That is the latest song, guys. I'll share it on my page. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here today. It's a special day today. Bazain Mulishani, Tuposhanye, Chiten share, invite people. Humphrey Soto Mulishani, Mabel Mulishani. Invite people to join. Today is a big show, guys. We are reviewing performance moved on after 2 years of governance, and I think that song summarized everything. Yes, we are not sleeping today. Yes, Bapathi, Matthias Mulishani, welcome, Doctor. Welcome.
Thank you, Queen Pumulo. Thank you, and good evening, our friends from all over Zambia and Africa.
And the diaspora. We have a lot of followers in USA and in Europe and Australia.
Yeah.
Yes.
And diaspora. So how are you today?
I'm good. And how are you? How is my sister, Mama, Honorable Given? How is she?
She's doing good. She's doing good.
Amen.
Always pushing forward and speaking for the good of Zambia.
Amen. We thank you. She has a wonderful support. We appreciate all the support that you give her. I wanted to tell you personally and publicly, because a lot of our men, they don't support their women. So you are a rare gem in Zambia to support your wife. She is running for second term as an independent member of parliament. So thank you so much. You are a good example to our young men out there. So I just wanted you to know that we appreciate your support.
Thank you. If we do not support, who will? You know.
Yeah.
I always say that we need more men that can support their women to get involved in leadership, and it's only fair that women should also get a fair share in leadership of our countries. Why? Because proportionately, women are more than men in terms of population. If they are more in terms of population, why should we only have a few women in leadership, not just in politics, but in industry, in civil society, and every other sector in our country and the world? We need to begin to come to terms with the reality of the Lord. In the beginning, he said, I will give you a help made for you. So wives are not just supposed to be packed, they are supposed to be part of the passionate about Zambia. And when Given came in my life, I said, well, here is another friend, here is somebody else who shares the same dream as I have. So she can play a role in changing lives, and that's what we have been doing together.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I know this is your second, this is our second show together. And welcome, guys. If you're just coming in, please share in your groups. We are here. This is a new show. We'll be having it every Monday, Leadership and Politics. And I have my co-host, Dr. Lawrence Mwelwa. Can you introduce yourself briefly, your credentials, so that people get to know you? Thank you.
Well, my name is Lawrence Mwelwa. I was born in Mukushi, Zambia. I have been in business, and I spent a number of years in academia where I served as of Vice Chancellor. I am a writer. I write a lot, and so those who page, you find that on a daily basis, I write my reflection, and I've been writing reflections for many years now. And some of the things that I said, Pumi, years back, have seen them unfold now. So when I go back to my writings, I actually am able to see that this I said in 2017, I said this is what will happen in 2021, and this is what will happen in 2022. Because when you read widely, you get to have some kind of a foresight into the future. Not that you are a prophet, but just the way things are unfolding, you can actually be able to tell that this is what will happen tomorrow.
Exactly, and because history always repeats itself, guys, share, tag people. We want this page to grow, guys. I am so excited. One of the reasons I'm excited is I'm celebrating 2 years of New Dawn government. I'm not celebrating it in a happy way. I am celebrating it in a sad way, because most of you who know me and follow me, I was one of the big campaign platforms, my page. We were one of the biggest campaign platforms on the social media to campaign to usher in this government. So, you know, as I celebrate, as we, as a country, as we mark 2 years of UPND governance, we are here to review their performance. We'll give credit where it's due, and we'll obviously look at the downfalls. But unfortunately, we can't sugarcoat anything. The situation is not looking good for this governance, and they came on a promise of the 10-point plan. So we'll quickly look at the 10-point plan and how they have implemented it. We'll then look at their successes and obviously their failures. So their failures will be the last part, because right now I am reading comments to say a plane has just been caught with the gold and the plane had no paper. The plane, an aeroplane, indeke naba ikata, that's the breaking news, to say naba ikata indeke na ikwata gold ukwabula mapepala. Teifitulela nda. That's another breaking news. Another breaking news is where Fimba, Upoke, they actually made a video insulting me and Mama Chika Monica. Today, they say they have stopped praise singing and worshiping this government because of the price of milli meal. I also saw another activist, Stanley Malama. He said he will no longer praise this government because of the high cost of living and many other things which this government is doing to oppress and actually to starve its citizens deliberately. So the floor is yours. You can take over, Doctor.
Well, last year, around 2021, we were all very, very expectant. I must confess that I did not campaign for the UPND because I have always, and I had always been very skeptical about the leadership of my elder brother. Because if you look at his track record as an opposition, he never subjected himself to a re-election. He never took the party to a convention to face another person within the party to challenge him. And that obviously was not a very healthy situation, because if there is no intra-party democracy, when such a leader takes over, there will definitely be no inter-party democracy. It will be very difficult for him to practice democracy at national level if he cannot practice democracy within his political party. So I had a lot of
So I think our doctor's connection is freezing, but what trying to say is the doctor is saying that he didn't campaign for HH. You are breaking in and out. Okay, now you are back. You froze. You are freezing. You are freezing. So, but doctor, on your phone, can you close, if there are any applications running, can you close them and just leave one, just leave Facebook running, maybe to help with the bandwidth. So yes, guys, don't go away, don't go away. We are here. It's going to be a long night. We are talking to say, let me just remove our doctor and he can join back. Let me remove you and you can join back for your connection to restart. So the doctor is saying that he never campaigned for HH because there was no intra-party democracy within UPND. That is a very important point we should know, which we should all take note that UPND never went to a convention. UPND never went to a convention, meaning that the president HH never allowed anyone to contest against him. In other words, there was no democracy within the UPND itself. So that is why my doctor saying that was a red flag right there. And to come to think of it, yes, if there is a democracy within UPND, other UPND members could have been allowed to contest that the presidency of the party. But nobody was allowed to contest the presidency of the party. So then how do we expect the president to be democratic in the country? Because the president HH has never been democratic in his own party. He can share it. You can join in and I'll be reading comments as well. This page is being followed by everyone, all the big political opposition parties and everyone in the country. They follow this page. So if you want to write a message, just type it. They actually, according to the Facebook statistics, people read more comments than watch the video. So someone might watch a video for 2-3 minutes, but they'll spend a lot of time reading the comments. So please make sure to take note of the point that you want to contribute regarding this 2-year anniversary of the governance of UPND. I just played the song by KKD. It's their new musical group of our youths there in Ruapula, and that song, they have summarized everything. Actually, to look at the UPND 10-point plan, I don't think they even implemented anything from the 10-point plan. They have thrown away the 10-point plan, but they speak of NAPSA is one of the things that the UPND are speaking of achievements. And now I'm looking at the achievements of the UPND in the 2 years. Correct me if I'm wrong or if I miss anything. So there's NAPSA, and they say people are able to borrow up to 20% of their NAPSA. I don't think that is an accomplishment because the world over, everyone who contributes, it's a standard practice for people to borrow from their retirement money. It's their money. They paid into it. They are just, putting it into a fund so that it can grow and they can draw it at retirement. So I don't think NAPSA is a thing to celebrate. Anyway, we can celebrate it because at least a few people have managed to access their money. They talk of free education. I actually applaud the New Dawn government for bringing back free education. There are high poverty levels in the country. So some families, some children were staying home because the parents cannot afford the 200 kwacha for the term fee, a total of 600 a year. So actually, we congratulate them for bringing back free education. Free education is a basic human right, meaning that every government is supposed to provide free education from primary to secondary, including daycare. But on the free education, we are saying the quality of education is very poor. The kids, they are crowded in classes. There are 200, 100 kids in a class. The kids are only learning for 2 hours. So what is the solution there? The quality of education is very poor. So again, you know, if you are a parent, you have money, you don't want to put your child in a government institution because the quality of education is very poor. We saw that the hiring of the nursing professionals, healthcare and education, civil service, military, defense forces, there was hiring there. We congratulate them. At least they hired some people, but then it's nothing to brag about because that is a function of government. Every government is supposed to hire a certain number of people every year. So they did that, but we still have like 7 million youths are still unemployed out there. So you know, they did what they can to hire a few, but there were a lot of challenges in payrolling these people. I don't even know if all the people who are hired have actually been on payroll and actually getting a salary. You can pick it up, my doctor. I was just filling in for you.
Okay, yes. I was saying I was not so excited. I didn't expect that much from him. But as time went by and through the speeches, very well crafted speeches, I became interested that maybe he had something to offer this country. But slowly, we began to see that things were not going as anticipated. The situation was becoming more and more undemocratic. Now, let's go by what you are saying now. I joined when you were talking about free education. Free education, what is it that we need in our country? Is it education or quality education? Because the free education that does not offer the quality that is as good as no education at all. You are better off providing education with quality to a few Zambians than send all the Zambians into these schools and get them out as you know, as raw, without you know, as how do I put it, out of school, and they are not going to be useful to the development of the country. You know, yes, you produce 10,000 or 100,000 or 700,000 who have been through the school system, but this school system has not been able to turn them into the human beings or the material that needs to build our nation. It's still as good as nothing. You are better off educating a few, but give them quality education that they will be able to contribute to the growth of this country. That is my take on education. Yes, free education.
Actually, you know, education, yeah. I was just talking about the good things that have been implemented by New Dawn. So I talked about education, the hiring of teachers, the NAPSA, and the CDF is also another white elephant. You know, it's the elephant in the room, the CDF, you know. So I don't even know what to say to that because we have seen, you know, the quality of the buildings being built under CDF And also we have seen the amount being dispersed, you know.
Yes.
So it is very, very scandalous. We have heard in Solwezi where the whole CDF was stolen, you know, and we have no reports. You know, that cases, the corruption cases are being reported and there is no investigation. There is no rule of law. As the HH promised to say, there will be a rule of law, we will control the situation, end the corruption. We are going to enforce, you know, rule of law. There is nothing. There is corruption everywhere right now. A plane with gold has been detained as we speak.
About the rule of law, the president must lead by example. Then we can talk about the rule of law. The president has not declared his assets as required by law. Is that the rule of law? Fumi, are we there? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm changing my seat. The seat I'm sitting is short, so I'm trying to change my seat.
Okay. Okay. That's
National
better. So, okay. So I was saying that the rule of law must start from State House. The president must declare his assets. Why is the president not declaring his assets? And yet we were told before he became president that he was the richest man in Zambia. As the richest man in Zambia, we want to know how much he is worth. Or is it that it wasn't true that he was the richest man in Zambia, and now this is the time when he wants to pull strings around and become the richest man in Zambia? Because it was and it is important for all of us Zambians to know how much is he worth before he takes office, so that when he comes out of office and he has accumulated more, we'll actually be able to say, no. Before the president came into office, he declared that he had $36 billion, or he declared that he had $2 million. So as he walked out today with the $40 million or $60 billion, we know this is money that he made before he became president. Not that this is the money that he has made because he has used his influence as president of this country. That is why that law is there. Now, when you start hearing things like what you call single sourcing happening in the fertilizer sector, single sourcing happening in that sector, single sourcing happening in that sector, now you begin to wonder, is the president trying to enrich himself through these tender processes? Because it is actually not true that he was rich before he came into office. These are questions that we need to ask. Recently, Dr. Fimba, came out and said he has given President 5 days ultimatum for him to move to State House. Why would everyone be interested in the president moving at State House? Because that is the State House. Everything that happens there is recorded. It's kept in records. Whoever visits the State House, it's recorded. Now, do we know who is visiting the president at his private home? Do you know who he is talking to and what he is talking? Because he's not in the rightful place where he is supposed to stay. All these are red signs that actually dilutes his of law, I have noticed that under the rule of law, they begin investigations and never conclude any investigations. We've heard of the Sujilite investigations. Some people were arrested. The court processes start. They just appear once, and that's it. They only appear once, and that's it. And before they appear, it is highly dramatized, highly publicized. But what happens thereafter, no one knows. So these are questions that we need to ask about the rule of law. The rule of law, we remember what happened in Kabushi and Kabwata. Is that the rule of law? Is that what we call the rule of law? What happened in Kabushi? What happened in Kabwata? That was not right in my thinking. And I don't think that is what we call the rule of law. So there are so many areas that needs to be looked into. The Penal Code, a voluminous book, a very huge, document containing all sorts of offenses. If they want, even as we are discussing tonight, they can sit and scroll through that Penal Code and find an offense for you and me. Because we are speaking the opposite, opposing what they do. But as long as you are part of part of those who,
Good
praise
evening,
them, part
Madam
of those
Pung.
who sing songs
How are
for
you,
them,
sir?
you
How are
can
you, sir?
insult. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay,
And how are
welcome.
you?
We'll give you the floor. Let our doctor finish. Welcome. Yes,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you for joining. Yes, continue, my
Right.
doctor.
Yes. So the rule of law is very selective, and you only get arrested if you are in the
Mr. Napoka,
opposition.
can you mute your phone? We can get feedback. Can you mute? Okay. Go ahead,
Okay.
doctor.
So I was saying that it is selective application of the law. We all know that what happens on the page called Koswe is illegal. People are abused on that page. People are insulted on that page. But you can say all you want. No one is ever going to arrest those people because they are not opposing the government in power. So when you talk about the rule of law, it must be applied fairly. If I am insulted as a citizen, find a law within the penal code. If I complain, they must actually arrest that particular person. But if you are in opposition, even the slightest and minest of offense, you will be arrested for writing or saying something. They will call it hate speech, they will call it tribalism. They will just find a name within the penal code to pin you down because you are not part of government. I think that is not right.
It is a shame. In other words, police brutality, this new Dawn government, they are using police as a means of oppressing the people. We have seen increased police brutality on it, especially the opposition, multiple arrests. Bamembe last week was in for 2 days. Who hasn't been in? Savoy has been in, and the rule of law has even lost value in our house of law, in parliament. We have a speaker. We have a speaker who's overpowering and behave like a cadre. The speaker of the National Assembly leaves much to be desired. Her behavior is questionable. She is not professional. The country is running on autopilot. It's like somebody's running the Manda Hill via remote. The opposition members of parliament cannot speak. Immediately they say something, the next day they are sending police to, like Mama would say. Basically, our opposition members, they are living in fear. for their lives, like Tayali always says, to say, I'm living in fear, because every day, politicians, people in opposition, they are watching their back every day. If they hear a knock, if they say something, police is on their door. There is no separation of power. They have failed lamentably. And moving to the next topic that I want us to talk about is the health care. You know, Zambia is a signatory to the basic human rights, and we as lacking education, healthcare, imichitamwaba mufipatala, 2 years, they have failed to procure drugs. You know, the people are dying. If you have no money, you perish. Panadol takuli, cannula takuli. Same problems. Wanamai wabana, mwandi kuti tualanda. This government, I don't know mwandi where we are going. Agriculture na need drama. Agriculture is failed. Abantu bale poka nani, amata bale poka fertilizer mama meda. From there, they are exporting. They are trying to feed Congo. How can you feed Congo, which is a 60 million population? Congo can buy all our food to Ashala and Sarande Meba. So everything is amiss. Zesco is being privatized as we speak. Maswa said airport, I know, I have the feeling that airport, he wants to privatize it. That's why he's belittling it. So that the day he said to Alash Tisha, he has already worked on your minds to support his idea, to say it's a useless airport. How can you call that airport a sausage airport? Like, honestly, really? An award-winning airport compared to the level of construction, these projects being undertaken by UPND government. They are kula malekule midada desho malekula. Ama briki akumanta. If you see a building which is looking good, is thank God. Most of these projects under CDF, this new Dawn government, they are using the cheapest quality to build. And in fact, somebody reminded me to say those projects were started by PF. So they're just following through projects which have been earmarked and pumping in money, but the money they are pumping in and the construction is a poor workmanship. I posted a picture on my page which went viral comparing Massausage Airport to CDF projects. And there was a lot of praise singer saying, hey, are you normal? You are comparing that airport, you are comparing to a classroom. I'm like, you are missing the point. We are comparing the quality of construction. I don't care even if I build a one block classroom. That classroom must have quality. That classroom should last 600 years. They're still standing. You look at a building, you can tell that is quality. You look at a building, they use qualified people. These new Dawn, they're just taking their relatives from their villages and giving them contract to start building. They have no certification, no qualification to build. The same way, that's how they are running the government down. They are running the government down by employing each other. Pilato, Ministry of Sports. What does Pilato know about sports? Permanent secretary. A permanent secretary is a technocrat. Anybody appointed in that role should have qualification. Zambia will not change as long as we continue politics and appointments of appeasement. And the president bragged to say, when it comes to power, he is going to appoint technocrats. Is Pilato a technocrat? Is Pilato a technocrat? So they have failed one day. It means, I think, if a doctor, we should just go for a call for a referendum and have early elections. Because I want to manage to 300 kwacha. And me, what makes me sick and tired is every time referring to ECL and calling me a prostitute for ECL, whom I don't even know, I've never even met him. Which now brings me to the level of education, because our children who are going through education system, they are half-baked. They have no respect for women. Every woman should be respected. A woman brings life. Now, 5 days, that respect that child. She is going to bring life. You don't know that 5-year-old girl might be a mother to the next president of Zambia. It's only in Zambia where we have our youth disrespecting women. Why? And the president is mute about it. This is the rule of law we are talking. Why hasn't the president taken the podium and condemned these youths insulting us in the name of UPND? Why can't the president stand and condemn the lawlessness, the vulgarity? Like you were saying, if I just say anything, they'll send the police to come and arrest me. But small boys, my sons are insulting me. I am a president for Edgar Lungu. Eh? And it is there. Victor is there watching this. There is total chaos. But Fimba Upoke, they got bundles to insult me. Fimba Upoke. No, Fimba Upoke was insulting me and Mamachka Monica and many other people. State House, even hugging the president himself. We are saying why? We were saying why is the president entertaining people who are Amane Tukanamantu? And never see one last week. If you are still supporting you are a fool. And congratulations. I respect those who are coming out in the open and saying they are no longer going to cheer HH or New Dawn. If you are money enough, call a spade a spade. You cannot be buying Ubunga 300 from there where I'm Kurumba HH. From there, somebody says Ubunga John Sausage Airport Mulelumba. Eh? What is wrong with you Zambians? Some of you Zambians need to wake up. You need to wake up and stand on the truth. There is something going on my page about Barnabas Mumba. I posted a comment. And it's connected to the John Sausage, whatever, airport. Because immediately the president said that Barnabas Mumba released something to say about that kind of in solidarity with the ruling government. But I think as a country, we need opposition. Even if Barnabas Mumba or the political parties, they are alliance, they are called opposition for a reason, the word oppose. When you're an opposition party, you oppose. It doesn't mean that political parties who are in alliance with New Dawn government should be cheering. Okay. Barnabas Mumba wants a breakdown on the airport costs. Why didn't he ask for that breakdown before Bahaka Inde said it? Barnabas Mumba, with due respect, this is why if you read all the comments there, you are supposed to be independent, like make your contribution independently. But if you contribute to something when the president just said it doesn't look well. You are bootlicking the current presidency. Why didn't you talk about the cost of the airport earlier before president said it? Then we won't be here. But where the president says something and then you come and issue a statement, that's why people are questioning your loyalty. Are you loyal to the Zambian people? Are you speaking for the Zambian people? We cannot have an entire opposition, only a few people are speaking. Entire opposition is repeating what the president says, the current president is saying. So if you're repeating what the current president is saying, you might as well join them, because
Yes.
your draw is your opposition. You are opposed to their view. So even if we are questioning the cost of the airport, we should not question it when the president says something. It doesn't look well. So in short, to me, this whole new dawn, it has been a mess. It's regrettable. It ingakula sanikwa. I don't know. You know what? I just don't know. Maybe, HH need to come to power, because he cried so much. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But all he's doing is, I guess, I don't know what I can say, because he's not doing anything for Zambians. He's a lot of street talk, a lot of speeches. We all, he said everything that we needed to hear, Promises, promises, promises. Now, even the street vendors have lost their income. I was just talking to my daughter from Kitwe there. She said, imagine, Namayo church kandali shabana, bamutamtiamu street. When cities, all global cities around the world, they maintain it, they support street vending. They just have order. They designate areas, street vendors, kachitisheni hapa, these are your hours, all over the world. And Zambia is a country which has got a high unemployment rate. So everybody's a peddler. Everybody's just trying to make some money to go home and survive.
Yeah.
But we have seen a government of heartless people. It's really heartless, to say the least. Like, they have no compassion, they have no empathy. We know when we come to mining, it's another disaster. Mining is the worst disaster. And I want to say this on mining, to say, Zambia, we are in a mining economy. Zambia was built on the minerals. Zambia's country was built on minerals. And we are blessed to say, if we want our economy can also be agriculture. But what has this new Dawn government done to empower our farmers? Already fertilizer to lelanda, so tabalamba to distribute fertilizer. Bale chinja baba to supply manankan. It is going to be another disaster. Hello, you are praising Amashakwata manu muma comments you ngamalanda pabunga at Karime. Do you know how hard it is for a Zambia to get a piece of land? It is easier for a foreigner to get a piece of land. Muye muli me fertilizer tambali fena kupela abantu so abantu balali menshi. It is a disaster all the way around. In the mining, the old mines, Mopani and KCM, they are dead. They say that there are no operations, but every day, people in these mining towns, the trucks are coming from those closed mines. Yale send the copper. But they are saying there is no mine, those mines are closed. But I am every day, people who live in Mufurila, I'm a mine yalafu, mama trucks, 10, 20 trucks are leaving those mines every day with the copper. But they say their mines are closed. So he came to say he will fix all these things. So the looting of our wealth has continued. Daylight robbery has continued. New mines are opening. Mosquito has a mining license. Like, really? Ndalumba mine has a mining license. Really? The VP Nalumango has a mining license. When are you going to change the lives of Zambia? When are you going to change the narrative to empower Zambians, to make every Zambian a millionaire? When? All the mines are being managed, but there is a whole new bunch of mines opened. Why can't we nationalize all those new mines all over? They can send the gold. They are enabling stealing. In the Zambia airspace without the president knowing. The president has to know whichever plane is flying in and out every country. You know, when you fly, when you're crossing international borders, you have to get permission to fly. It is a security reason. It's a matter of national interest. And the president know all this. Yesterday, I was on a page and I saw someone posted the whatever. Some plane landed Kung Fu. And then somebody decided to answer me there. And in his answer, he gave me information I didn't know. He was like, you also, why are you posting this? Don't you know if Mfue is a peak time for now, all the billionaires are flying into Mfue for tourism. And then I'm like, yes, I've heard that actually it's not even tourism. There is a lot of things the Valley Konka Mfue with all the private jets landing Mfue. And the private jets are not all landing only in Mfue. They are landing all over Zambia. Because Zambia, everywhere you touch is a mine. There's a precious stone of some sort. So who's giving clearance for these people to come and land in Zambia and take minerals for free, tax-free, looting minerals? Who is that? This is the failure that we are talking about. And if you are still cheering to say you don't, you are a fool. Go ahead, Doctor.
Hello.
Naranda.
Ubwafya mukyalo kyeswe, we go and dance for politicians. And in the meantime, you... Hello. Welcome.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. You know, the people go and do praise singing. They go and dance for the politicians. But the politicians are busy making money. They are busy making billions. They are busy cutting deals. You and me, all we are doing is to wake up early in the morning, buy bundles, and begin to insult other people who are reasoning to the contrary. Shame. Queen Pumi, I am aware that the minerals that we export, those trucks of copper we see, we don't even know what we are exporting. We don't know, because there is no mechanism in place by government to test what we are taking out. It could look like copper, but are we sure that there is no gold in that copper? It could look like copper, but are we sure that there is no other metals, other expensive metals in that copper? We don't know. We are so negligent that we watch wealth being taken away from us without paying attention. If today I go to government with a proposal that there is a laboratory, a lab in Zimbabwe that wants to be taking samples of every export that's going out to scrutinize the content of that on behalf of government, the government won't buy in. Why? Because hidden interest by people with government who do not want the reality, the reality of what is being taken out of our country known to everyone. They don't even need to hide the gold, because gold goes out of this country on a daily basis through those copper cathodes that we see. Do we know what we are mining in Kansanshi? Do we know what we are mining in Lumwana and all these other places? What other metals are in those mines that are not being declared? They just take them out just like that. And in the meantime, we keep crying, oh, debt. I know as a fact that this is something that people don't want to hear about, but it's a reality that our colleagues in the previous government, they overbought. But this government has an opportunity to repay, not to push the debt to the future. They have an opportunity to repay, because this government is to a lot of mineral resources. A lot of things have been opened up. Instead of giving these mines to cadres, why not give these mines to government itself, to government. Why can government own these mines so that we can extract and be able to pay out the debt that we have? We need to get to a point where we can do a stock taking, where we can account for the wealth, that how much wealth we have in this country in terms of mineral resources. We don't even know. We could actually be saying that we owe billions of dollars when that can actually be extracted from one single mine and one particular mineral, and we pay off all our debt. But there is no commitment to paying our debt. We want to perpetuate the begging. We want to perpetuate the puppeteering, you know, where we can go ahead.
Sorry, Madoka. Oman, I think Alea Kunchito. Alex, can you just come in real quick? I know the Pam Sebo, and then you can go. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Uncle Auntie, and thank you so much, sir. I just want to say one or two things. You know, this government is a very disappointing government of all the government we have had in Zambia history. And Mr. HHC, we don't know what we can say about this president, because he promised people a lot of things. A lot of things he promised. Jets, because he knows how to talk, but he don't walk the talk. You see, so many people are suffering in Zambia, and the way they are doing, like I'm a politician, opposition, that means they are scared. They are scared. No, but all they want is just to consider. People are suffering. One life. Life now issue from Zambia. There's no way you can buy a bag of meat meal 300. That's why they're even giving the PF for Makokulanda, because they are even better than them. They are calling them their thieves. At least I'm going to manage to people are suffering. Look at the price of fuel. How much was it before they came in? It was 17 kwacha per liter. But how much is fuel today? How much was a bag of mini meal in PF time? And check how much is a bag of mini meal today. There's a big gap. There's a big difference. So are you going to tell YHH they are doing the right thing? And for them, USA, it become a puppet. So whatever they can say, number who are suffering, the ordinary Zambians, because these ministers, before they came MPs, they have nothing in their accounts. But go now in their accounts and check how much they have in their accounts. Some of them have not about it, but today but people are not eating, and they are sleeping now. But former Zambians, but the main thief die. Because politicians, they come to steal your future. They are stealing our future. There is God in Zambia, but do we see that money from God? We don't. How many people are suffering in Zambia? I even said last time, one prostitution, name for. What do you expect?
Correct.
Are you gonna learn for teacher you can't. They have to go back to the drawing board. They have lost calculator. And these press singers are just telling you, oh, everything is okay. Everything's okay. Everything is the politics comes and the things are bad. They can't even, they just have to close their mouth. Things are bad. We have people there. They're asking every time to send in the sending in them every day. We can't even send no more because of our limit, our number limit. At the sending a challenge. And people are chatting my HH. But when it comes to talking talk like what's Katuish? What's It's not a debate. This is real life. It involves one too. There are people who are suffering. A lot of them are suffering. Go to the hospital. There are no medicine. No medicine in the hospitals. CDF, you need scam. It's a scam, CDF. Where does the money go? Who is checking and balances? None, you. That's what I say. Opposition Walandako, Bamwikata, Musendeni, Walandako, they were for negativity. All they want is just to cheer them up. What kind of government is that? Because as a leader, you have to hear the criticisms. People, when they are criticizing you, they are telling you that, sir, the party will know, checking any po. Number one, what's silence? Wabekata, Tiamaselu. We are under Tiamaselu. This is the same thing Ale Pitamo when he was in opposition. And he promised the Zambian people there will be rule of law. But now, where is the rule of law? And what is the promise of that? We have to find something, not to the but we're seeing it happening nowadays. How many oppositions have been jailed? How many? What's the matter? What's the opposition? Savoy adding up. 0-0. Why are they doing that? To silence them. Because they don't want to hear any criticism. No, they don't want. They will show you up in Chihuahua. Even now, I'm supporting. Even though I'm a supporter, I'm a supporter. Mumba Tamurimayo, I support that Fimba Upoke, one at the Shionobunga.
Nala pida umo nanya nala pida umo Fimba Upoke nanya nala pida.
While you are at the slogan in Mulevonfia, Kawambana Imu.
Yes.
Ever poker number. You never let poker inside. Because now they can't hide it anymore. They can't support it anymore. Now, Banaka. Something is happening. Something is going on. Sometimes they need to wake up. But the many thieves, they are stealing our life, our dreams. Because we depend on minerals. But who's looking after the minerals? Who's auditing them? Nobody. And you as a Upoke, you are just talking. Other people are suffering. You can manage to buy a sack of minimum. But what about that woman who's selling musalu, who's selling tomato, who's selling what's this? Tute. A day. Talk to Sunke Chibal in between 15 quarts a day. Is he going to manage to buy a sack of meal? He won't. You can help to manage Gustovunga. Not only Matai. That's nothing. That's nothing. But church, if you're able to see this, sir, you have failed.
Voice Yaya. Alex, we can't hear you. Alex? But Doc, the floor is yours. But Alex, voice Yaya.
Yeah, so before he came in, I was talking about mines and minerals that are being taken out of the country. Take it up. Go ahead.
I am a Milos.
Yes, you are back now. Go ahead. You can
Milos, I'm a Milos. I'm a Milos. My Milos, ya won't say. Umwina Zambi won't say has to benefit. Not only politicians. Every Zambian, they are entitled. Because the power of I said, I'm a Milos, Zukmamumarat, Nama Milos, Yandina Bikapa. No. Every Zambian is entitled. Woman, that's why Muksakufira Sungu go and Fola. Just to be a citizen. They are getting paid. Ask Kantimpumi. There are people getting paid. They don't even want to work. Government. Number, if we have all the resources, we have all. But number, why can't we use the messages to change lives here, man? Why can't we use it? These European countries, they come to our country. Basina milozi, wapanga, basari fine, wapanga blessed ama gold chain. We're even buying expensives more than inflation. But why can't we do that?
Zambia ni gold chain. Zambia ni anafana for gold chain.
But ni shemuine. And where are we going? And you are saying Filipino? No. But let's be real.
Personally, you are impressed. If you are impressed, you from a page yapa. If page yakulandira kwa balanda, te abantu abamungulu. You now we are now we could now we have to them minyo wa popping and champagne fumapa. I have a good life. Even in Zambia, I had a good life. But I speak here for the oppressed. But a window in Chipurukosu, a woman in Shangobo, Ukuyamukula, a bridge, Pampanga Pamungu Paria, anti-toll bridge. You are taxing poor citizens to death.
Now, sorry to cut you short, Auntie. Imagine they have chased all traders, street vendors. If you count, how many were they? The old Zambia.
Bengi.
Now those people, they have gone back to Mumushi. So what do you expect? What do you expect?
If you did sticker,
what I expect is one
prosperity
is gonna go high. If barafula abakabona barafula tawashacha kufula pamusebo barasenda. So them they are thinking that they are working or if it were but they are creating more problems. Mamona pantu muinena mayo ala pa market ala tomato 15 kwacha a day ala bora makungani number ala kala mumushi takwetene ndalama na huko ala funye tapali pani wasemu ni mumushi kai. Imagine you say the number ya mu town ya mumushi. What do you expect?
Back when the floor is yours. Prostitution no mule. I got a call yesterday. Somebody saying that's a problem with HTK. If you are Baba Ichama junkies, back up when the floor is yours.
I think our Narimu paper now HIV na rise. Manambas na akura. What does it mean? Insala. Insala na ikura mucharo. Hello no mbapa. Ichuwe mechako bate pressing as na batali realize. Dilia bashire barera ndatinga refu aya kuti aikala na ku Europe are tuteka Mozambique. No mbapa na ibipa. Na hivi pakwale banga walanda ponisho letu kwa pano mbana abaruba abantu nga baranda nishinachikalipa ipinta tuwe Mozambique turekala kwa tuli ku Congo kwa temu myesi
Auntie Pumi, thank you so much
for the opportunity.
And hello, today.
Hello, go today. Akudi West. Kwa shara 3 years but bakafume tukekalashani ngakuti vyawe fintu ino steve ubunga 300 kwa tata trafika mu December tukaresto ubunga 1 pin kwati ni ku Congo tuli ngana bafirwa ve kutave design bapya muto aishibo vetu ngachita pozipona atunaka kufi bwachira mu Mozambique epo baishira batave condemn aba nabo for how long? In fact, I can advise you, Madam Pumi, I was pressing as our race up and Tawaka Tevia Kuranda, where I can put a page up. Chushi. Naso Tashquete, no Kakurumba Tashquete, so batting eyes, I'm young. yaisa nensala ireta the press singing if yakupuva abantu abarashokwesamwe bena tabaremona variamba okubutuka inoita variamba okwikala mu mpanga tukamonako 2023 ikafika
pressing about it. You know what? Patwombu palya. Patwombu bali kwisa. What stay second year adversary. But mwali okupolo kula tukana ine mumu page and nami pata. Please stay in your lane by pressing. Stay in your lane. Muleke chibere chamusa. Your frustrations. Munefuna okufishtovu ngelo muleta ma frustration yandi kuline. Mukutukaine. Tukeza mi diringa. I will screenshot you. Yeah.
Valelo mbafi vela tukanenseni bantu mwaka lyabana
ya vale funishe chikukushimulini okula tukanaine.
This is bad man.
I will screenshot you and we will deal with you. Na mumona fyetyo chiri aleyo muntu wenu nobufi bwako. Aleya.
Kuno ndini kumufulira ala madamu kutwalira mwandini. Kwati twaba katushi ngani kunze achalo ngani kuisa vyo ingalane kwate muzambio vyo torekana vintu firive katushi kumopani ukutwa abantu abengi barekana vyo mangande tabarebomba mopani alisarika vyo tuingalanda ngawa yapa maini pawa vya amesheka eka ola mpia ishini kakena akanono bafumia mopani tatwa shibanoko kaya apandela na some of the contractors tabala fola no managed to like kalashani bala alienshi sure area showed land that they taking the time up to now. Now some of the people na resa ngona bena na rebe wana tilira sha 2025 tidi afika bare tarik but now baimwen abantu bare kalani salamu Afrika pono kubapepeka muma streets namo bafwa refi akuti tabeshi atukari babenu ko bushikuti alolesha akona ngumusaro aje kuti afika ku market ukutali kuli nabantu bali isulama market mwandini ngani kumfurira. I can tell you ni disaster nkondo yabakuira kibaye peshafi but abantu bachidi baleta pressing lwavo otherwise if interfere bueno muzambe tebe twaike kwatola kwari ko buchushi but ubwena nabo fika palast bena bale bomfya fyo ya free, everything is free ifo ture chula bale bula bale lunda na bale tana review fyo every after a month balunda tababo shapo balunda nga babwesha ko fya kanono mulamuna Facebook ko Facebook ni bafuma noko nababwesha napapunde tumoni bachidi bare kulera alira fya amazing and kuno kumfurira otherwise na mpobo mpera ko platform madam Pomi. Thank you.
Akona ina totela mwebana mulelanda a platform we need to educate abantu kwishiwe ensambushi yabo kulalanda ngabane faka hatukake mfyebonse na imi nenga naisa bakandwele papa airport bakankaki because
no mbanga bakaka teti bakakena bonze bakarateke embushi bashiri abantu bapurebe bayisura amatu bare umpa kubantu birafene bashinkira amatu pakwambanga bachirife na bashingi tukarafika 2020 bakaifumina pofi you tell me bakaifumina pofi ngatabare fo kumpa kubantu cause abantu bateke cyane. Listen to them. They can valid. In fact, Valanda told that Tawamuchibakano na chikadipa.
In fact, you know, one doctor, I don't know if you saw the video. Uyu Prime Minister waku Italy naima Giorgio Meloni, the Prime Minister in Italian Prime Minister naima mokulandila ma Africans. Attack Macron. Atiwe Macron. Abantu nombana abamba okukuka from West Africa bale apo France. Na ipomela number 5 Zambians chabi pate twali ba landlocked. If we were on the water, na tuneni na chokoko for bale send the gold yes na ipomela ndoko twaya. So West Africa ifichitika moto bali pameshi baleko ngefyuma vyabo ku France. But in Africa ku France, Macron is at a border returning those people. So this Italian Prime Minister Mwanakashi, and attack Macron. And you send a few Mafiama Africans, you are getting their minerals for free. But when they come to your country, we never thank you. I have Macron, but today you send a few Mafiabo. Let these people leave these people and their wealth. It is time. So if an Italian Prime Minister can speak like that for Africans, what more HH? How dare he give our minerals for free? In the Kashide landing Zambia kwati ni walunshi. Zambia ilikuwa ni hani nomba. Zambia ilimuchi ndeke shonsa chimpa Zambia kuisa mkusenda gold no kuya. It's a shame.
So na chumva tukuri skando ya God nomba ishiramfuikisha fefe ili ashidede ya God nishi wachisa mkutunta again.
When never Zambia police never immigration ulula.com. Don't let these people in the Kenga Shaisa make their life difficult. Tamuleria, you people who work for immigration in national airports, you are face and witnesses. You are seeing the minerals being looted out of your country, and you are watching it. You people working for national airports, immigration, Zambia police, be patriotic. But before they show to Zambia police, salaries. Why are you hiding their crimes? Why are you hiding their crimes? Zambia police by immigration, ulula.com. Show me the papers. Import papers, tax, fiance, don't release that plane to fly. We all need to be patriotic. Apopo to Africa, namusonda sushire mpaka. Zambia need to rise up. Because these people, they want to play with us. They think Zambia Shishita. Hello?
But
if you
I remember.
Stand your ground.
This is bad. I can remember before the PF Tavarafuma, Pobalan that God Dingafuma, let's say an investor or any Zambian Aquata God just have to sail through ZCCMH. Now, I don't know. Fiari Chinja Nanguchavashan. Because
they are not minerals. Yes, today we're coffee. That's why name Pia Tamuli. I'm a contract. Vale, Perama, we Beka Baledia, na fiance. No money is going to the poor people. If you are nobody, you are getting nothing. Look at Matomola, for example. Umuntu ampala Matomola kucha alila. To say I'm suffering. Would you want to prison? I don't know many times to protect HH.
Matomola wali muchitafiksi. Kana pa page pa kwenda wali muchitafiksi. He used to post something that was very bad pa page pa miako. Now
you have to stop praise singing anyway. It's only praise singing, but never to Number 6, there was debt restructuring. We will start sharing, we will start giving money to our cadres. I remember. Did you see that? Like but I'm just appealing to people. If you are in these strategic offices, you are a police officer, you are immigration, you are national airports, you are wildlife, bali peraba nawa mabilionea bose ma hunting licenses balesa mpipa ifi na mabalesenda mumandeke yao. Be patriotic. If someone comes, demand for the papers, in export permit, whatever, search those planes. So why are you accepting our country to be looted? You Zambians, now I'm talking to Zambians. When I'm back to my airport, you can have a Zambia police. You are guarding national interests of the country, national treasures. Mulele kabasungu baleisa na mandiko kusenda kopa ero imamwa wera pofye mwa mkushto munga 300 kwacha. No, we say no to. This is the time to rise up and say no. If someone comes to get copper or cobalt in Deke Africa, demand for the papers. The rule of law, but Doc, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I think one other problem here, Munima Zambia, to prioritize if in Kankala, we like a lot of Facebook drama, social media drama, but in Dalama Nishware sender. When ishina batubika tulifyoko pezi and worship pushani indalama bare sender indeke shireya amatracks yaleya kopa ideya ifuna twika lafye the best president, the best government, the best this. Okay, rewind a little bit. Debt restructuring was successful. Our expectations were that after this debt restructuring, we expected to see some improvement in the cost of living, but instead we have seen nothing has changed. What was the meaning of all that excitement? People went to the airport, celebrated. The whole Facebook and Instagram and Twitter was awash with debt restructuring, debt restructuring. What was the meaning of that? What has happened to the savings? If at all that was successful, what has happened to the savings? Because debt restructuring was supposed to give us some relief. It was supposed to give us some relief. Meaning that since we are not paying these loans, there is some money that has come back into our hands. So what are we doing with that money if we cannot do anything in the hospital? What are we doing with that money if we cannot fix the roads around? I am in Luapula province in Chienge right now. If you look at the Chienge road, it's bad. It's in a bad state. Nothing is being done about it. And the rains are just about to start. What has happened to the savings from the debt recovery? What has happened to the Sujilite? The Sujilite that was the court in Kabwe, is it still there? How far has that case gone? What is the government doing about it? We get some of those resources to plow back into the economy. Some kind of relief. I was checking when I was looking at the list of achievements. One of the things I saw was that inflation is now at 10 to 9.5 to 10% of inflation. Okay. If the inflation rate is at as it is now, why has it not impacted on the interest rates? Why has it not impacted on the cost of living? The cost of living has continued to rise. The prices of commodities have continued to rise. But in the meantime, we are being told the inflation rate has lowered. During the time when the inflation rate was 20%, the cost of living was lower than it is now. Trying to tell us by saying that they have achieved a single-digit inflation. All these are questionable achievements that the UPND government is celebrating after the 2 years in office. I've seen a long list with about 33 items: reintroduction of meal allowances, increased salaries for civil servants, 4 million vaccines for cattle, enhanced freedom of expression. Enhanced freedom of expression when people are being arrested every day for for saying things that they are not supposed to be arrested. You talk of, paying 3,000 retirees, paying council salary arrears, when people in the councils are complaining right now. Not too long ago, there was a letter that went viral where somebody was saying they haven't paid for 6 months, asking the president's intervention. So which councils have no salary arrears? So all these are issues with objectivity. The UPND government needs to get back to the drawing and begin to discuss real issues that are affecting the people of Zambia. And above all, stop arresting people. Because this is,
your signal went away. But I was
saying, so I was saying, stop arresting people. When you were in opposition, you were saying, we are being arrested every day. The government must arrest the growing cost of living. They should stop arresting opposition leaders. The same message is coming back to you. Stop arresting opposition leaders. Arrest the or increasing cost of living. People are failing to live properly. That is why you hear, people saying they miss President Lungu. Even the children of Israel, when things got so hard in the wilderness, they missed Egypt, they missed Pharaoh, they missed the meat in Egypt because the situation became unbearable. The reason why people are missing where they came from is things are becoming unbearable. Find solutions. This is what you promised. This is what you promised. You said you will fix it. Body will fix it. Body will pay. And that is the I spoke earlier. In the past, I used to say that, look at, body will fix. And I was saying, no, it is not possible for one man to fix the country. The country can only be fixed by collective efforts of all patriotic citizens. And when you begin to think that you are the custodian, the only custodian of wisdom, you are the all-knowing leader who does not want to listen to anyone, then you are missing it. You come faster than you go faster than you came. Yes, the God at the airport, we are hearing about that God. We need to hear exactly. Let's get what is going on there. Where is that God supposed to go? And this is the same Aram, the same, thing that used to happen in those days. You hear this, and the people in the investigative wings, they just cover things up and all that. We want the truth because there is no smoke without fire. Which day have we ever heard that there is gold at the airport? When did we hear that? For people that saying that, it means that there is something. The friendship that our president has recently enjoyed with the people in the West is really worrying because things are going bad and we can't hear anything from the people in the West. In the past, they used to talk a lot. Any little thing, they come on the PF. Any little thing, they come on the PF. But now, you don't hear them say anything. People are crying that they are being arrested without any reason. The West is quiet. The civil society organizations are quiet. The international organizations are quiet. What is it that they have done? What deals have they actually, clinched with the West for them to keep quiet? We need to be alert. When things are wrong, they are wrong and they need to be condemned. The same way they were condemning things during the PF time, the West must also condemn what is happening now. People are being arrested for no apparent reason. They will just cook charges, arrange witnesses, and come up with charges against someone. This is not supposed to be the case. Somebody is saying comment on the sausage airport scandals. Well, I don't know what you really mean. But this is an issue that has been discussed widely. we are so much on that. But I don't see it as a sausage airport. I see it as one of the best, airports in Africa today, as compared to what it was before the PF constructed what we have today. Over to you. We should be winding up.
Yes, we should be winding up. So just to two comments. I want to comment on the gold at the airport. So I just looked up the price of gold. So the price of gold right now, 1 ounce is 1,900, almost $2,000, 1 ounce of gold. In Kwacha, it's almost 40,000 Kwacha. This is what we are saying. To say Zambians, we are all millionaires. Imagine if there is equal distribution of wealth. 1 ounce of gold, 2,000 US dollars, 40,000 kwacha. But people, now these minerals are being stolen from under our nose. This is why I am appealing to you. I say everyone be vigilant. I commend the officers at the airport who impounded or brought that theft, who exposed that theft. Because I'm reading comments here and they are saying that all the police officers, they are Tonga. Well, if you are a Tonga, are you getting a discount to buy Milimi 150 kwacha? No, you are also feeling the pinch. So I am here to appeal to you. Do not support HH because of Mutundu. Mulenchula bonse, whether you are Tonga, Lozi, Kaufela Minalwan, Kaufela Nalwanyandela mo, Mulenchulira pa mo. So Mitundu, if you are a Tonga police officer, do your boss is the Zambian constitution. People are watching him, Zambia police, people are watching you. If you are seen to be in partisan, your job will finish in 2026. As civil servant, you have a 30-year contract to work with the government with a hefty pension at the end, like myself. Every civil servant, you have a 30-year contract with a hefty pension. So now, do you want to throw away your career to please HH, who is going in 3 years? I am appealing to you, men in uniform, civil servants. If you are entrusted with protecting our national treasures, your boss is the Constitution. It is not HH. HH aleria kaenda mundeke nyonso kula pitana muchalo wala misenda imwe batonga. Na HH ulamitola mundeke naenda mundeke. Ulamitola. Ne mula musuna ulamipa discount, tonga discount? No. Be patriotic. Your boss is the Constitution. Your loyalty is to the cause, not to a person. This is my message today. I commend for the officers I commend the officers at Zambia at KKK airport who intercepted that gold. That is what we want to hear. We need these golds to be intercepted, the emerald to be intercepted. We need them to be exposed, because even if you intercept it and tomorrow an order comes to say release it, the record is there. Guess what? We are exposing them. We have achieved something. And with this information, people know what to do. Information is power. Apaniulula.com. Once mulechitobunga ma 300, no mukhalachitobunga 500, but na indekesha gold, indekashila isam kusenda gold. That is your gold. I tell you, we are all millionaires. 1 ounce of gold is 2,000 US dollars. 40,000 kwacha. Can you imagine? In a country right now with the right leadership, we are all millionaires in dollars. If they can consolidate all these minerals and control it and share it equally, Zambia, we are the next Dubai. And I always say that, and I will always preach that. And I hope that one day in my lifetime, even when I'm dead and gone, we are going to have patriotic Zambians who are going to stand for the people. Right now, what is happening, there are a lot of non-disclosure agreements being signed by HH and his government. Non-disclosure on private minerals. Does the HH own the private minerals for him to sign non-disclosure? When the whole world is changing, Europeans are fighting for Africans to say, let these Africans own their properties and start benefiting from their minerals. Europeans are fighting for us. And then we have a president who is denying us of our national wealth. He's making all these deals for some kickback. I don't know whatever they are doing, whatever he's receiving. Obviously, he's receiving something, because why is he risking all this for nothing? Why? Why is he risking his career? He's risking his Zambian citizenship, because I don't think if HH loses power, he's going to stay in Zambia with what he's doing to the Zambian people. I don't think HH will stay in Zambia when he loses. It's just not it's not if he's when, because he's going to lose. Zambia bashi promise because people will be after him for causing so much pain, misery, and death, taxing people to death. It's a tax. When you're sick, you go to the hospital. Prescription. That is tax. They are taxing you to death. No food, no medicines, poor roads. It takes 16 hours to drive from for an 8-hour drive. You take double the time. Why? Poor roads. Zambia rise up, Zambia rise. We'll be here, we'll be talking. I'll read a few comments if there are any comments, but we'll investigate this thing about that happened in KKK. We Zambia need to rise up. A men in uniform, rise up and not in a hostile manner, rise up for economic revolution, rise up and expose the wrong things that are happening. If theft is happening, you are working at the airport, expose it. Why are you letting a foreigner send a gold? You would have 300 kwacha. Namalight taukwete na moto kataukwete oleni na bus. But mule mula ama minerals bale senda basungu kwisa mkukule fyalo fyabuku. Na tuikala turindui. The time has come for you Zambians to take up your rightful place and benefit the wealth of your country. The time is now. Enough is enough. Especially when we are even balefura no kushtemi timufipatala. Pikale tureseka. Tureseka pan. Zambians, we were most respected. The conversation yesterday. To say Zambians, in the 70s, you are Zambian, we were respected because of what Kaunda was built for us. We were most respected people in Africa, Zambians. We had a solid economy. Kaunda's motto was every Zambian should eat an egg and bacon for breakfast. That is a motto of Kaunda was talking about feeding people to have an egg and bacon for breakfast. We were respected. We had Mansa batteries. Everything was in place. Mansa batteries, Kawamba tea, Kawamba coffee, Munochi banana, theater motor assembly, ITT radio, Sirius, Zamefa Wire Company, Kondola Kuria, Johnson's and Industrial Hub Ndola. We made everything, our soaps, our drinks, Kuma Bottling Company. Zambia was on the right trajectory to becoming an economic giant in Africa. And we can do it. We have all these facilities in place. Mansa batteries is there. In Livingston, we can make electric vehicles. We have all it takes. Now we have lithium kulya kuma patizia. We can start the hub of electric vehicles in Africa. But we have leaders who are selfish to the core. They are selling our country. They are sellouts. They are traitors, selling our country to the highest bidder for a few change in their offshore accounts. I must say that as long as Zambian blood is being spilled, you will not enjoy that money that is in your offshore account. You will die and leave it. I declare today, if you are accepting money to go in your offshore account, when you can't even buy one trip, one international trip can buy wheelchairs in a UTH. We have no wheelchairs in UTH. And you are letting planes carrying gold fly in and out of the country. Kwati ni nani kan? KKK na yaluka ni nani kan? Keleva noko. Joseph Yolela noko owakufiele. Don't even call me Mayo. Keve noko wakufiele. Because some of you mulibapuba mwakulire katwichi mwafyala no bupubera mukafwa no bupuba. And leave my page. Don't waste your bundles on my page. I am here to talk to patriotic Zambians so that maybe these patriotic Zambians can stand there and build a better Zambia. We are not going to be here and it's here only today.
So you can see the insults, and as long as they are on the other side. Yeah, and in most cases, people start to insult because they cannot debate intelligently. They can't contribute anything. But anyway, the second anniversary of the UPND has actually spelled doom to the Zambians. The hope, the expectations that were high have faded. We are not seeing much as expected or as anticipated. In a country where we expect freedom, the freedom that we cherished and protected now is not there anymore. The dignity that we used to enjoy is not there anymore. I sympathize with young people when they come to the Facebook to insult. It's out of frustration. Sometimes bear with them. They are so frustrated, they are so hungry, and sometimes they think that the more they insult, then they would be noticed like some of the guys we have seen being employed in civil service because they supported the UPND, and so they have been given positions. And others think that when they insult, the more they insult, they could actually end a
like
position in government. Yes. So as we wind up, let's look back and see what have we achieved as a nation in the past 2 years. Is it true that what the other people were saying that, voting for this would be a Dununa reverse? Instead of going forward as we anticipated forward, we are now going in reverse. A lot of things have actually failed. A lot of things are getting worse. The cost of fuel is too high. The cost of electricity, just electricity, it is too high. And if the cost of electricity is too high, how can people produce? The situation in which we are requires that we increase our productivity to be able to cope with the challenge of debt that we are facing now. Not to push our debt into the future where we are not going to be a part of, but to find solutions now. And how do we do that? By increasing our productivity. How do we increase productivity when the fuel that is supposed to contribute to productivity is just too expensive? The electricity we're supposed to improve our productivity is just too expensive. The agricultural inputs are too expensive. The raw materials that we are supposed to use for anything are all too expensive. You can imagine if I want to import something into Zambia, the cost of importation is too high, but we need to produce locally. And so when we are buying raw materials, we actually expect to get these raw materials duty-free. I am a farmer and I run outgrower schemes. Sometimes we have to import seeds from other countries. The cost of importation, what you end up paying the Zambian government is more than you spend on the seeds themselves. The cost of the seed that you are buying. So the taxes are too high. And what is unfortunate, Pumi, is that small businesses are taxed heavily. Small businesses that belong to the citizens are taxed heavily. And yet the mining conglomerates, the international and multinational organizations that are rich, that are taking billions out of our country, go without being taxed. Is this what we wanted? Is this the government that we wanted to be, that will put the burden of running government business on the poor citizens and let those who are taking our minerals go scot-free? Is this what we want? I hope that they have a chance to prepare another budget in September, October, and I only hope that they will revisit the taxation system so that they give a lot of relief to small businesses. And so what I have seen is that this government of President Hakainde Hichilema doesn't like small businesses in Zambia. A lot of small businesses have collapsed in the past 2 years. A lot of them have collapsed. Some of them, the government has collapsed them because they cannot be paid, because they are suspected to be PF companies. They are suspected to be, in the opposition. So if they are paid, they are going to fund their political ambitions and so on. So some of them have not received their money. They have worked for government, and so they have kept telling them that they are auditing because they suspect that they supplied air. But the way we understand government systems, it's not very easy to supply air. And these businesses are now suffocated to the point where they are dying. And those that are trying to make it, those that are doing small exports here and there, or small imports here and there, the tax which they pay is so heavy. You talk of the motor vehicle industry, there are a lot of our young people that are importing cars to resell. The tax that they have to those old used cars is too heavy for them to make a profit. And so as we wind up, my appeal to the Honorable Minister of Finance is to revisit the taxation system. Tax those who are rich, who will not even feel the pinch of the taxation. But if you tax small businesses that are trying to build themselves to become, employers, local employers, that will benefit the Zambians. Most of those international, the money they make, they have to take back to India, they have to take back to Italy, to wherever they come from. That's where they send their profits. If you empower local businesses, they will plow back their profit within Zambia. They will build their own country. So that is why it is not right to overtax your citizens and let those that are just coming here to make money go scot-free. Rethink the mining taxation policy and let them start paying. As we get the budget for 2024, we want to see taxation reintroduced in the mining sector. There is no mine which will come to you and say we have made a profit. All of them will keep telling you that they are making losses. And so if you do not collect your loyalty, then you have nothing to collect from them, because they always play tricks and tell you they made a loss. If they are making losses, why are they still mining? If they are making losses by vendetta, why are they coming back to Zambia? They said that the mine was not profitable, they wanted to walk away, but today they are begging to come back to the same unprofitable mine. Are you sure these mines are not profitable? These are tricks from the international tricksters who have come to swindle us of resources. Thank you and good night.
And just to add on to that, those same mining companies who are tax evading Africa, here in the United States, they are paying penalties for evading taxes, for declaring fake losses. They were taken to court here in the US and they paid billions of dollars. So in closing, build Zambia, buy Zambian, be patriotic. The Mongo toll bridge there, somebody was saying it is fake, and I'm saying it is not fake. That is a toll bridge which I think PF started, and then you don't have started constructing it, and the quality is appalling. The quality is so poor, and my question is to ask the Minister Msokotwane, is this the development you are bringing to Western Province? Develop construction here, ghetto construction. Shame on you. Shame on you by UPND for putting your name on hip midadada construction when you claim to be in the Champions League. We need to take Zambians out of poverty, and we need to put Zambians first. And we need to have quality staff. Everything we do for Zambia must be quality. Healthcare, education, jobs, good salaries, everything. But you know what? We are here, we'll be talking, and we'll continue to watch the situation about the gold, and we'll come live maybe Wednesday or Thursday to give more updates as the situation unfolds. Otherwise, Doctor, thank you very much for joining me. Wonderful meeting. And we know we need men to stand up to the plate, because the question is, where are our men? You know? So I'm very honored to have you here and all the young men who are joining me on the platform to speak out for a better Zambia. Good night. Thank you, guys. Follow, like, share. We'll be here. We'll be talking. God bless you. And Zambian lives matter.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.